Goose grass. You can eat it, but what does it taste like, and would you want to? Many of you will be familiar with this stuff. It's sometimes called cleavers or sticky willy. Commonly gets stuck to you when you're walking throughout the late spring and summer in the UK. The little hard green balls, often stuck to your, or get matted in dog's fur, for instance. But supposedly full of vitamin C, used by sailors of old to ward off scurvy, and I'm interested to see whether it's something you can eat but is actually pretty unpleasant, or whether it's something that is worth seeking out and giving a go. Now, the almost sticky texture of the plant is due to thousands upon thousands of tiny little hooks on the leaves and the stems, and this is what makes it clump together and also makes it unpalatable raw. Yes, you can stick a bit in your mouth, but generally it's not a very pleasant sensation to chew. It does earn a mention in Richard Maybe's Food for Free. This is the little Collins Gem Pocket Edition. The flavour of the raw plant itself isn't bad, somewhat reminiscent of raw peas, but as I say, the little hooks render it pretty unpleasant in terms of mouthfeel. So I've given it a sort through to remove any other plants, bugs, etc. And I'm going to give it a wash, chop it up before popping it in the pan. It's repeatedly quite stringy, so I'm cutting it into shorter pieces to minimise that effect. Just blanching the leaves for 20-30 seconds or so to remove the little hooks. To season, I'm just going to use a little bit of salt and pepper and just a little bit of olive oil. I think that's enough. So I'm now just going to drain those and give them a quick whiz over the heat with that olive oil. So definitely still a bit stringy, and even with the blanching and the light frying with a bit of oil, they do still maintain, you can see the little hairs still there, so maybe it needs a bit longer to cook, maybe they don't quite dissolve away in 30 seconds as the books suggest. However, the flavour's not bad, perhaps a little bitter, but not unpalatably so. Not dissimilar to any other sort of green vegetable cooked this way, say kale or something. Perhaps a little bit more bitter. I wouldn't, choose it as my green vegetable of choice, but certainly it's free and abundant. It isn't offensively bad. So I think the last acid test is to try it on the kids. Okay, so here we have my test pilot. What do we think?
Yeah, I don't like it, it's on my taste.
You wouldn't choose it?
No.
What does it taste like?
Gosh.
So that's sadly a resounding no from the kids. So I actually don't think it's bad. A little bit bitter. Oddly, if you try it raw, it doesn't really have the bitter edge, but it has the sort of sticky, hairy edge. If you cook it, it softens up and you lose most of that hairiness. It does acquire a bit more of a bitter flavour. Again, as I say, not overwhelmingly so, but definitely a thumbs down from the boy. Goose grass. Can you eat it? Yes. Should you eat it? Well, if you've got no other source of green vegetables, maybe. Would I recommend it? Probably not really.